In this video, we're going to do part 2 of this vintage CGC unboxing. A little rough the first time around, I felt, but maybe I'm a little bit biased. So let's see if we can rally and have an awesome part 2. So stick around for Swarm of Comics. Hello and welcome to Swarm of Comics. I'm Randy, your handsome and humble host. I'm coming to you from the Batcave once again, which by Batcave I mean my finished basement, but you probably figured that out. We're going to do part 2, vintage submission. I feel like I was a little downer last time about how, things didn't go my way, but when looking through the books when I was putting back in the bags, that Adventure Comics, maybe not worth $1 million, but a 9.4 is pretty good. That Marvel Spotlight and a 3.5 is good. And I love that Black Cat. So can't be so negative, but you get caught up in it a little bit. I also mentioned that I had recently picked up a Hanna-Barbera's Superheroes. So I brought that down to show you guys that one here. From 1968. Not in great shape. Probably going to come in at like a 4, 4.5. But looks pretty good. I have not actually opened it yet. Let's look at the back. Let's look at the back. But that's what I'm going to guess. Let's say 4, 4.5. I always say that, well, when will I get this? I'll see how accurate I am once I get it slabbed, but I never remember. Ooh, this is wrinkly. Ooh, that's a strong mildewy smell. That's a small. That one hit you like. But I don't see any mildew on it. It's still pretty white. I'll show it to you. Inside's pretty good. It's going to have white to off-white pages. Cool stuff inside. Space Ghost. This was his second appearance. So it looks like it presents pretty well, but if you could see it, it is wonky, wobbly, wrinkly, which is what happens. A lot of spine ticks. It said it had a tear on the cover, but I can't tell if that's a tear. I think it's just a bad wrinkle. So, again, I'd still be okay if I get this grade and it comes in at a 4, something like that. So, yeah. Hanna-Barbera Superhero. There's the back, the typical. What was this one? Oh, this was the Sales Leadership Club. Okay. Scamming little kids out of their money. We'll pack that up later. I also wanted to add, if you watched the first part, I unboxed Cavalier Comics. And I forgot to mention it because it kind of slipped to the side. If you remember the original video where I unboxed this when I bought it raw, it was part of something called the IRS collection, and I have a certificate of that. It's not something that's going to be like a pedigree. They didn't indicate it whatsoever on this, but they did send me back the certificate. I guess in the old days they didn't send you stuff back. Go look up the story about the IRS collection. This is like stamped and like holographic and everything like that. Certificate number 1661. The very short version of this is that somebody that worked for the Colorado IRS, state, not federal, basically figured out how to steal money and used it to buy comic books. Like 50, 60,000 comic books worth a ton of money. And they got caught, and their punishment was they had to sell their collection. And what happened was they sold it off, and there really wasn't good advertising for it. And some guy and his dad, he borrowed the money from his dad, and they bought the collection, and then they've been selling it off ever since. It's just an amazing story. Go look it up. But I did want to mention, because I didn't remember it at the time, that this Cavalier Comics came from that collection. Also, that 6.0 probably should have been a 7.0, but we're going to let it go. So they sent their certificate back to me, and they wrote on here, they said, keep with CGC, and then the number there. So I'm going to package that all together and keep that in there for the future. Why? I don't know. Okay, now we can get started. I probably should have a disclaimer at the beginning that said, just fast forward 5 minutes and then you'll get to the fun part. So thank you guys for joining me. Make sure you, if you're new here, like, comment, subscribe, leave comments. I love interacting with people and I have fun. I feel like I'm part of a community. You guys all make me feel well loved, and always love your comments and thoughts. Even once in a while when I get somebody with a little bit of a spicy comment, we turn that into fun. So, okay. I'm going to pull out the books. I'm going to pull the bag off. I'm going to hide the grade. I'm going to look at the book, and then I'm going to most likely get mad. So we'll see here. When I'm unboxing modern books, especially brand new modern books, they're almost all 9/8. Kind of not a surprise. Although I don't love all these grades, they are a little all over the place. It is kind of a fun adventure to see what you're going to get with these, because it's not just, oh, I got 25 9/8. So let's see what this first book is. Ooh, this is rough. This is in bad shape, and I knew this was in bad shape. Like, this could be a 1.8. So that's going to be my guess on this Black Cat. This is Black Cat number 3 from 46-47. It must have overlapped at the end of the year. So Black Cat number 3. Wow, so I have Black Cat number 9 in there. But this has holes in it, rips, tears, wrinkles, dirt, pieces missing. If this gets a 1.8, I'd be surprised, but maybe it's a 1.5. 2.0, see? Not terrible. Red cover. Our Hollywood darling in action there. Very cool. Here's a special introductory offer, 12 issues for $1 from Black Cat Comics. You could send away for that. That's pretty cool. Hey, it didn't come back a blue label, purple label, and it didn't come back a green label, so not the best. So a lot of these books you'll see me say like that, Tales of Suspense from the last video, 56. That looks fantastic. You start to give it a little more discerning eye, you see it's not as fantastic. And that was a 5. This is a 2. This looks like somebody, threw it in the trash and somebody dug it out of the dump. I'm not going to complain, and I know that Golden Age books get a little more of a pass. But like that 56, issue 56 of Tales from Suspense, yeah, it's a 5.0, but it looks really good. You keep hearing me probably say, or other people say, it presents well. Right, because you kind of just see the cover, and it's in this case, and it presents well. This does not present well. This presents like garbage. And the back is even worse. So I'm happy with my 2.0. Should I have probably just, not bought this? I don't know. Got a better one. They're not super expensive books. But we got it. 2 Black Cats in there. I'm starting to suspect maybe I'm starting a collection of Black Cats. I wish it was I was buying a bunch of Phantom Ladies or something like that, but we'll do Black Cats instead. My budget. So let's see this next book. Oh, Fantastic Four number 20, the first Molecule Man, as far as I know, origin and first appearance of Molecule Man, who, I don't know if anybody's cared about Molecule Man since first Secret Wars in 1983-84, but it's the first one. This one presents well, it's okay. I'm going to guess a 3.5 is going to come in at 5.5, so better than I expected. The back is really good, but the front's not. It's pretty wrinkled down the side, so I'm going to be pretty happy. I'm happy with that 5.5. Of course, it's a Stan Lee story with Jack Kirby and Dick Ayers art. A classic right there. What, number 20? 20. It's Fantastic Four number 20. I have a bunch of Fantastic Fours, and I thought about, what am I doing? Just buying key issues? Should I, try and get the first 20 issues or something like that? I know I have, issue number 3. I have issue number 6, 7, 8, 9, and a bunch of others. So, cool. Happy about that. See? Oh, let me see what keeps happening. All right. Next book for your viewing pleasure. Let's see what it is. I don't know why I hide it, because I didn't guess the grades beforehand. Fantastic Four number 35. This is the first appearance of Dragon Man. I got this in the same batch of books that also had that first unicorn in Iron Man, or Tales from Suspense, or whatever it was. And I think I just got overexcited about these minor key first appearances, and they all looked good, and I submitted them, but I'm going to be disappointed, I know. This one is in okay shape. Again, I don't know who cares about Dragon Man, but if that other one got a 5.5, I'm going to guess this got a 5 to a 5.5 as well. 5, yeah, that's what I guessed. I'm not retiring on it, but here we go. Got it. Happy about it? Happy about it? All right. Book number 4 in this wonderful batch. from CGC. I hope you've enjoyed my other videos. I've been really trying to mix it up lately in between these CGC submissions. I'm running low on books that I would even submit to CGC. CGC takes a long time, and this stuff costs money. I'm, turning in aluminum cans and stuff to be able to do my paper route to afford this. So I did a helmet unboxing. I did a Star Wars display unboxing. I did a tour of my original comic book art, and those never get as many views. People love unboxings, and they love bad news unboxings. I get that. People do. But if you happen to be here, help support me and go watch those other videos. Unless you find me annoying, and then you can watch them and just mute me. I don't care. So what do we have here? Tales of Suspense number 51, another one from that batch of minor keys. This is first appearance of the Scarecrow. Not the good Scarecrow in Batman, this crappy Scarecrow. There's also some other backup story that I don't care about. There's a bunch of Jack Kirby and Stan Lee stuff in here. This presents okay. If that other one's a 5.5 and the Fantastic Four was a 5, my guess this is going to be a 4.5. That was pretty good. It might even be worth case cost what I paid for the book and to grade it. And sometimes that's what you do. Sometimes that's what you do. I'll also tell you this. Sometimes it's weird talking to myself and just looking at a camera. It honestly is a little bit weird. I remember the first time I played a show in my first band. We were just young, and we had played gigs out in clubs. But we got asked to do a local cable TV show. Now, you want to put on an act and you feed off the energy of the audience, and your friends are there or people are there watching you, try to impress them. So we got asked to be on this cable TV show, which was great. We played a couple of songs, and in between the songs they interviewed us and talked to us and stuff, and it was hilarious. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. Maybe I'll try and find the link and put it in there. No, you don't need to see that. The point of all that was you were just playing to a camera. There was literally nobody there. You couldn't even see the person hosting the show. And when the song is done, you're waiting for applause or you're waiting for something, but you're just ta-da! And there's nothing. And you're just trying to play off the energy of each other, I guess. So this is that was a long way around to get there. I'm sorry, but aren't these stories fun, guys? Okay, we're all having a good time. Let's see the next book. GI Combat, number 6, 1953. It's got some dirt on the back, maybe some of that spotting or tears. It presents well on the front, better than the back. These old war books, this was probably post-Korean War, just at the end of the Korean War, so people were reading the war books. This is one of my first Golden Age books. So some of my first Golden Age books were Lawbreakers, Always Lose, this GI Combat, a couple others you heard me mention in videos about my first ones. This I definitely bought in the 80s, and no idea what grade this is going to come in at, maybe a 4. But number 6 of GI Combat from Quality Comics. So let's see what we got. A 4. I was right on target with that. Not disappointed. I didn't have any expectations. I just held on to this book for 40 years, and I wanted to get it protected and graded. The back's pretty dirty. It's got a little rip at the top here, but the front does present well. Not a super exciting cover, but it means a lot to me nostalgically. This is a book that I've had for a very, very long time. That's a book that I think I gave to Tom 2 years ago to get graded or something like that. Maybe, I don't know if that's long. So that's why I told you is he has a big comic box full of these that he presses for me and he throws them in, and then he decides to mix it up and which ones he's going to submit, and it's a surprise for me. All right. 3 more books. 3 more books. It's Swarm of Comics. Famous Funnies. This is in theory in really good shape. There's nothing significant about it. It really is in good shape. It presents well. And this is from 1945, Eastern Color, Famous Funnies. Now, of course, the Famous Funnies books became famous because they had Buck Rogers in them. This one's just Goofy Funnies. When I purchased a small collection in an auction, I think that's when I picked up Submariner number 16 from 1945, same year. There was a bunch of other random books that I picked up as well with that collection, very small collection. This was one of them, and I submitted it because it really feels like this is in really good shape. So on the cover, if you were to look on the cover, you maybe guess this is going to be a 5 or a 6 at least, but on the back it's a little rougher, so maybe it comes in at a 5, a 4. I'm disappointed not because I have any attachment to the book, but because if you could see how good this looks, and I'm not sure if you can. Maybe you're watching this on your TV and you can see it. Maybe the glare from all my lights is killing it, but I'd have to look up why. Maybe there's a big tear in the back. And, you know, if you watch my videos, you know that sometimes things like folds and tears give you a ceiling. It could be the best looking book in the world, but if there's a 2-inch tear in it, you're never getting over like a 4.0 or something like that. This is, besides that, maybe a tear. You guys tell me if you can see it around there. Hopefully this focuses in. That's disappointing because it looks so good. That's a weird cover, but okay. We're back down to the little bit disappointing. That's not the end of the earth. I mean, if I paid $1 for it or $2 for it, but then I paid to get it graded and shipping and pressed. So I don't know if anybody cares about Famous Funnies number 133. Come on, we got 2 books left. Let's rally for some big time. Big time here, guys. Thunder, King of the Congo, The Jungle Adventures, 1953. Of course, there was a big trend of jungle books. Africa, jungle, fighting tigers in Asia. Trend of comics. I have a couple of them that are really nice one. Jumbo comics and stuff. I don't really know anything about Thunder. I bought this a while ago. Again, Magazine Enterprises, which also did the original Ghost Rider. So this is in good shape on the cover. I can see that it maybe has a subscription folder or fold in it, but looking at the front and the back. So the back has the grade on it. It's up here. So I'm trying to not look at it while I look at the back. So a little bit rough, but it's from 1953. I actually think it's a cool cover. Thunder is fighting. Now, who's Thunder? Is it the guy or is it the lady on the bird? I don't know. Maybe it's him. To look it up. I think I picked this up cheap, raw. I was looking to get into these jungle books entry level, and because I liked some of them, so I picked this one up. And let's see what it is. I can't even guess on this. I'm gonna say a 5 because it's right in the middle, and I've been having such garbage luck so far that let's assume it's a 5. 5.5. It looks better than a 5.5. I'm not really sure. I got repeating myself that this is in really good shape. This is a book you probably wouldn't submit if you thought it was a 5.5, but it looks like it could be a 7. I have to look at the notes and see why. So we're not quite there at the end yet, but it's just okay. I feel like I'm in the land of 5.5s, 5s and 4.5s. I'm right in the middle of everything here. Except that Black Orchid, 9.4. Really good. All right. Last book. Thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for slogging through all these 4.5s and 5.0s. Nothing super exciting, I don't think, besides maybe Marvel Spotlight and stuff. But the last one, fingers crossed. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Adventures of Mighty Mouse. Nobody cares about this book, and I bet you it's a 4.5. Adventures of Mighty Mouse, 145 from Dell Publishing in 1960, which is interesting because somebody actually has a stamp on it from 1962. So that's interesting. But, I mean, it's Mighty Mouse. It's fun. Cartoon books. We had Scooby-Doo and we had Space Ghost, and I showed you early and stuff like that, and Johnny Quest. So we've got a Mighty Mouse. We've kind of got a lot of these more kid books, but let's say 4.5. 6.5. I mean, it's still probably not worth anything, but a 6.5 I'll take. And this is from Dell. This is still 10 cents, which to me means they're about to raise the price to 15 cents or 12 cents. I do know that, that was a big thing in the 1970s with Marvel, is every time they were about to raise their prices, they would say, still only 35 cents. I have a couple of shirts with that on there. Make sure you go to the description. I'll try and remember to put the link in there for my TeePublic store for some of the fun shirts like that. So we ended with a fun Mighty Mouse in a 6.5 from 1960. Could be worth tens of dollars. So, good. It was all right. It was not bad. I think I need to really buckle down and have a more discerning eye, but I get the fever, baby. I get the fever for the grading, and I can't help it. Okay. Cool. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you, share my videos. I don't ever say that. Share them. Put them on Facebook. If you like them, if you enjoy them, share them with other people. Or I'm just happy that you watched. So I'm Randy from Swarm of Comics. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you go home and read some comic books. Don't just put them on your walls, but also put them on your walls because they look really good there. That's a nice wall of books.